Hi, I'm Bryan Denyer, editor of AV News, here with Gordon Dutch, who is the Managing Director of Peerless-AV EMEA. We traditionally, I think now, for the last few years, have caught up with Gordon at the show to catch up on developments and ambitions for over the next 12 months. I want to start, Gordon, by saying my perception is that Peerless as an organisation in Europe has gained a lot more strength in depth, I think it's fair to say. You seem to have good people appointed to key roles. What are the most significant appointments in your view over the last 12 months?
Well, I think since we last met, Becky's come on, obviously, who's heading up our PR, had a long history in the AV industry, and that's made a significant difference, not just to you guys, obviously, in the press, but also outside of the UK. We've had some excellent response, so that's been a major change. We've tried to invest heavily in territory so that we've got more people on the ground, and certainly Stefan Kruger, who joined us mid-year, has joined us looking after all of DAC for us and Eastern Europe. And recently we appointed Stuart Robson-Frisby and Tom Fenton, both of which who came from the LFD background from one of the rather well-known brands, and have joined us in business development. So yeah, it's true to say that we've really worked hard to recreate the success that we've had in certain countries and develop that strategy going forward, including obviously opening the warehouse in the Middle East and developing the business there. The
market sectors in which you're probably best known, we're looking at things like retail with particularly your modular systems, and also outdoor, which I think has to be one of the growth markets for the next 12 to 18 months. What were the significant announcements in those categories, in retail and in outdoor, over the last 12 months?
Yeah, so in terms of the retail, it's really been more of developing the modular range. The twin pole range, which we actually launched here last year, has gone exceptionally well. That's allowed us to do a lot of retail video walls. We've worked very hard and worked very closely with a lot of the AV integrators, and we're now the brand of choice with those. So that's been really good to see. Out of that comes a good collaboration where they're feeding back, further developments or further products they want. So certainly the modular range has been very, very successful for us. On the outdoor front, of course, the extreme products that we've been selling for a year or so, those are more of a long burn. It's quite interesting, whilst we do have, the smaller batches going out in 10s or 20s, a lot of the large projects obviously take a very, very long time to develop. So that's been an interesting business. But like you, we feel that the outdoor space will continue to develop in the coming years, and we specifically see certain areas like the Middle East where we have the product for what's going on out there in terms of its operating range. So it's certainly an interesting area, and it's something that we will continue to look at as we move forward.
Are people getting the IP68 message, or because everyone else has gone IP66, is it clearly understood by the channel why IP68 might be a good thing?
I think it is in certain territories. So as I say, the more extreme the weather, obviously, then that suits the name, hence the product name. But in terms of what the product will do, obviously there are applications where a product that doesn't have IP68 can also be used, and that's something that we've now got in the US is a slightly lower spec product, which is more price competitive because obviously the costs of building an IP68 product are extremely high. So we do see that area developing as well on two levels, one on the extreme area for extreme temperatures and situations, and then obviously more of a volume market in areas where it doesn't need that full IP68 capability.
One of the things, probably maybe the leading trend over the last 12 months, has been the emergence of the indoor direct LED display. I'm not yet had a chance to go around the show, but I'm sure when I do, I'm going to be overwhelmed by the number of options that are available there.
Yeah.
This is a market which you're just really entering with products that support those installations.
Well, we've actually been in that market for some time, but we've really been custom the products because, of course, the advantage of the LFD, that the Visa fitment on the back of the product is reasonably standard, and ultimately you have to develop universal systems. So what we've been doing is using our close proximity to the OEMs and having our own in-house manufacturing and development team is obviously a big advantage. A lot of the big problems with the other mount manufacturers is obviously they tend to have products made offshore and they don't necessarily have control of their own manufacturing. manufacturing. Peerless is a little bit different. We do have volume manufacturing, but also the majority of our manufacturing is done in-house. So what we're showing at the show, the new LED, is a fully serviceable unit. We don't think anybody else has necessarily come out with the same features and benefits that we have, and we've tried to draw on the experience of our award-winning video wall products and put in many of the features that the installers have asked us for. So we're very excited about that space, and we expect to be a major player in that space in the coming years.
So your opinions of the next 12 months, optimistic, pessimistic?
Yes, very optimistic. We
Yeah.
had a tremendous Q4 which we weren't expecting, and traditionally obviously tends to drop off slightly around the peak period, whereas the consumer business that we run in also tends to go up, so it works quite nicely. But we carried a lot of business forward and forward orders, and I think the more large projects we're getting involved in, the easier it is for us to obviously forecast and bring the run rate through. So we're very excited about this year, and as you say, we've invested heavily in the team, and we are looking forward to some good results for 2016.
Excellent. Thanks very much indeed.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.